This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome to day 3 JavaScript fundamentals. Let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Someone?
Yeah, I can see now.
Awesome. Okay, let's go over the topic. So yesterday we discussed about the conditional statements, and we finished all these. And today we will be going over few topics that we had left related to for loop, and then on with the next ones. While for in and for off we will be taking up later. Later when we cover up the arrays and objects, during that time we will be doing that. So I'll go over to the Visual Studio. So let's start with the program. So basically we covered most of the things in for loop. So the things that we couldn't cover were on the infinite loop part. So what does infinite loop mean? It means that we don't have a condition at all and it keeps running forever. So we generally happen to do this by mistake. In case if we intentionally do it, we will give an exit condition. Say something like, I want it to run continuously till I give some value, or till there some occurrence happens. At that point it has to come out of the loop. Only during that time it will get exited, otherwise it will keep running forever. So let me show this. In case if you guys anytime while doing the program, if you face that, then you can fix it the same way that I am doing. So greater than or equal to, then I plus plus. So if you see in this condition, I'm telling I is 0, and then we are telling that I is greater than or equal to 0 and I plus plus, which means we are telling it to go on till I goes below 0. In our case, we are incrementing. So starting from 0, that means it can never go below 0. Let's check the value of I and see how things are working. Let's comment out everything else. We will run only this. Okay. So that is node loops for loop. So you see the numbers are going continuously. Let me stop it. That is Control C. It will stop. I repeat, it is Control C, like that. If you don't do it, so within few seconds we can see the I number going to 78,840. So instead of doing this, what we can do is to give a proper condition, something like this. I want it to run only till it is 10. So we basically, it should be less than. Otherwise, it will not even go inside the loop because we are saying I is 0 and then I should be less than or equal to 10. So it will execute from 0 to 10. Once it has gone to 11, then it will come out of the loop. That is about the infinite loop. Any questions here? Okay, I take it as a no. Then we will go on with the while loop. So while loop is very similar to for loop. You will give this when you don't know when the condition would be passing, or when the condition will go true. So you don't know during that time, so you will give while loop. So let me give while loop.js, and here so this is something that we will be doing as part of today's class. So we will also be reading some input from the console. So how do we read that? Is with an extra command that we are installing, read line hyphen sync. So if you run this, again repeating npm space install space readline hyphen sync. So what it does, the npm will add the package related to the readline, that is whatever I'm giving in the console, it will read that, and post that it will give the response. So you can see the package, okay, here. It would be added in this one. So you see the readline sync is added here. So what we do is, first of all, to read this, we are saying const read line, we are reading the line, and we need this. There is a command that you would be using, require, to say that we need this read sync. So basically you're telling, I want to use this particular package that we have inside this program, and then I will be going and calling it or using it. So let's say answer is yes or something. As of now, I'm not saying anything. So what I'm expecting is I want you to give yes, and then it will stop asking you. So how do we do this? While, so answer, the one which we haven't given any value as of now, is not equal to yes. So what we will do is not equal to yes. Till then, we will be taking the answer. Answer will be equal to, that is read line dot question. This is the syntax. So basically you are telling print this question and ask for the input from the user, and whatever the input is coming from the user, you store it in answer and check if it is equal to yes or not. If it is not equal to yes, then go inside this loop. So let's see. That is, let me say, do you agree? Type yes. I want you to type yes only, nothing else. So that means I will give this. Okay. So far, are we there? So let's say I'll come out of this and I'll say thank you. Because you have agreed, I'm going to say thank you. This is about the program. So instead of for loop, we'll give while loop. So you see, it is asking me the question. Now let me type something. No, I don't agree. Or you give anything till you agree or till you type yes, it will keep asking the same question. See, now I give yes, I agree, so it says thank you, and that's where the loop ends. So if you want to see how this loop works, we can also use debug points. This is another feature, probably I can explain here better than in the while loop, because in while loop we will be giving the value from the console. So let's go over this one and try the debug. So debug is where you are telling I'm adding, click on the, so I'll go over. So next to the number you see a small red dot, click on that. So you're saying that is the starting of the point where you have to track what is happening. Just go over and track and let me know what values are coming. So now give on run, on top you have run, start debugging. So it will ask you in what way you want to debug. Select a debugger. So I'll go with a Node.js. So you see it says it has started. Now to step over, you click on this or give F10. Now you see the value of I is equal to 0. So the first statement is executed. Now let's step over. So nothing has happened to I. It has gone to console.log. So it is going to print whatever the value is. Now it has gone to increment. Now it has incremented. Now I has come and it is checking if I's value is less than or equal to 10. Yes, it is equal, so it will go inside. and then finally it keeps working that way till the values keep changing. You can see the I value is changing. Step over. In case if you don't want to check any more, you can give continue, or you can also stop. So you can see the responses here 0, 1, 2. It is slowly giving you the values step by step. Step into will come when you are actually going inside another function and you want to check. But here we are not giving anything, so these two will not help you. Step in and step out. Let's go over step over, and each time it is changing. You can see the response getting printed 7, 8, 9, and then the I value is 10. Now it has printed 10 as well. Now it has incremented to 11. That's how you can also check. This is one way easier for you to figure out where you're going wrong, or it will show you the steps, what it is taking, how many times it is executing. This is what we call it as control statements. You control how many times you want to execute the same statement. So now you're done. It will come out and that's it. So it has run everything and you are done. You have got the response also. So see, it has come in debug console. And if once you are done, you can remove this as well. That is about the debug pointer. So now that we are done with while loop, I'll go over do while. Do while is so no, I haven't mentioned here, but do while is very similar to while loop except for one condition. In while, you don't know whether you are getting that response or not, whether you want to execute or not. First, you will be checking the condition. If the answer is not equal to yes, then I will go inside. Whereas in do while loop, what happens is it doesn't check the condition. It will execute once whatever is there within the block, and then it will check the condition. So let's go and create one file. So do while .js, and here I'll give something like let I equal to 1, and do the the syntax is this way. You give do first, and then I'll say console.log of I. Whatever the value is, give that. You can see the red underline. That means it is telling there is a error. It is expecting something more. What is that? It is while. If you don't give this, it will throw an error. So probably we will go over here and run without giving anything. It will show you the error. So expected end of input. So it is expecting you to give something more than what it is there. That is, we have to provide while the condition. This is do while loop. And here I am giving the condition which will be I less than or equal to 5. That's where you're ending it. So what happens now? I is 1, and console.log we will be printing regardless whatever the value of I is. We will whether it is matching with the condition or not, we will be printing it, and then it will be checking the condition. So let's check it. Oh, it is not stopping. Control C. Now can anybody guess why it is not stopping? Okay, it's because we are not changing the value of I. So we forgot to give I plus plus. Now after we give I plus plus, it will stop at this point. So if you want to check, let's say I give I is less than 1. So what happens? I'm asking I should be less than 1, but that is 1 less than 1. No, it is not. Both are same. In that case, you will see it will execute only once, regardless what the value is in the condition. So it will execute and then it will proceed to the condition. It will check, okay, it is not. So it will not go inside the loop again. That's about do while loop. That is the major difference between while and do while. I'll go over to the next one. We are done with loops for now. For in and for off, I'll take it up later. We will go over jump statements. So jump statements are basically like you're telling there are two of them, break and continue. Break we had already seen in switch, where we don't want to execute further rest of the lines in the same block. So we say you discontinue the flow and come out of the loop regardless of whatever the case is, whether you have completed the condition or not, you just come out of that execution. So let's try that over. Break. Oh, let me create it outside. New folder. So, what was that? Jump statements, yeah. So in jump statements, let's break example.js. So what am I doing here? The same for loop that we have used. Let's take it and let's have this. So let's print this for now. We will see what happens. So that is node jump and then break. Oops. Yeah. So we see that it is printing 0 to 10. Now, if I give a condition something like if I is equal to 5, then just break. So come out of the loop, don't go any further. Don't change the value of I, or maybe I can give console.log of here I value outside the loop and plus I. Here instead of let me give var and let's check. So you see that we are printing I up to 5 and now we are checking if I is equal to 5, then come out of the loop. So we see up to 5 it is being printed and it is equal, so it is breaking the flow and coming out, and then now I value outside the loop is 5. So there is no increment happening, no execution of further iterations. It is completely out. That is about the break statement. Now let's go over to continue. Example.js. What continue does is continue skips only that flow. So in our case, if I give something like if I equal to 5, then continue, that means it will not display 5, rest all it will be displaying. So let's go and check it. So I'll copy the same thing. You can also do the same. Instead of console before the if condition, I'll give after. So I want it to check. And instead of break, I'll give continue. So now you can see the difference. So continue example. So if you notice, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There is no 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I value has again been incremented and it is 11. So it is doing rest all job except for this condition where it is going inside and telling no, don't just skip the condition, whatever is next to this, come out of this loop. Don't execute this line, just come out of this loop and go over to the next part that you are trying to do. So whatever I give, maybe something like I give one more console and say just keep printing this 4-5 times. All of these will not be printed, or all of these will not be executed. Basically, it will just skip and it will go over here, come to this part. It will increment I and then it will be doing the rest of the things. that is about continue. So we had completed all the control statements. If anybody has missed the class from the beginning, you can go over the recording. For those people who attended, in case if you have any questions, you can ask me. And for people who get back with any doubts, you can join 5 minutes early in tomorrow's session. I join every day 5 minutes early, so you can ask those questions that time. Any questions for now? Okay, I take it as a no. Then we will go over to the strings topic. So strings, what are strings? How are we going to create them? So strings are one of the types of keywords that we have. Sorry, not the keyword, the literals that we have, the values that we are going to get that will give you as string. So what we have here, let me create another folder here. And inside string, I'll create one as new file, strings example.js. So if you remember, we were creating some var or let or anything. So string one, and we were giving something like hi everyone, all those things. So whatever you give within double quotes or single quotes, that will be considered as type string. So how are we going to check this? Console.log of type of str. So basically you are telling, give me the type of this particular variable, whatever it is, just show me that. So how do we check it? Node strings string example. So it is telling me the type is string. Now the next topics about string are, I already covered whether we give in single quotes or double quotes, it's going to do the same thing. It won't differentiate anyway. So let me give something like var string 2. Again, var let const, it won't ask anything of that type also. You just give hello, and then you can check the same thing. What is the type of it? It will tell you. It's going to be string. Both are of type string. Now the escape characters. So when it comes to string, what if I want to pass something like double quotes or single quotes? How do I do it? So that's when the escape characters comes into picture. So basically, I'll tell you, I want to say something like, yeah, let question equal to what's your name? You see what happened now? I'm giving a double quote in the beginning and ending. So in between I'm giving single quote, so it won't make any difference. Now what if I give single quote here? So you see there are some errors saying it is expecting some comma or anything, you are giving it in the wrong way. So what you can do is to provide one backslash and it does the rest of the job. So it is telling escape whatever you're seeing next to it, don't consider its actual value, just consider it as one special character passing in this string, and rest of the things it will does. So console.log of question. So what happens now? See, in the console you can see a quote as well. That's how you pass it. And this backslash that you are seeing here is called an escape character. So there are some more of them. Something like you want to pass double quotes. In that case, you would be giving something like this. So let me give you like this. Or if you want to have it in the new line, or if you want to pass, sorry, my bad, I'll type here only. But if you want to pass slash itself, you want to say something, maybe I don't really remember the usage of it, but if you want to use backslash itself, you pass it twice. The same way it goes to tab, you want to pass some space. So you see there is tab. And now if I want to give it in the new line, so now it will come in the new line. What's your name? Like this. There is some more. For now, I think this much is good enough. We don't really need anything as of now. In case if we encounter such, we will go over it during that time. So that is about the escape character. Then we have the string functions. There are multiple more than what we have mentioned here, but for now we will go over only these. Probably these are the most common ones that we will be using. So let me create one more string functions. .js. So for one, let me give something like let str1 equal to hi everyone, how are you today? So that's my string str1. Now let's check what is there in line number, sorry, that each and every character is considered, and to find out what is there in the third one, what is there in the fourth one. So that part we will be giving it as index, that is called index. So say console.log of, I want to say something like caret, oh sorry, my bad, str dot char at, that's the string functions that we have, and I would be giving something like char at and give something like 2. So basically what happens, the index starts from 0. So h you see here will be 0 and I will be 1 and exclamatory mark will be 2. So I will see exclamatory mark in the response. I missed one. So you see exclamatory mark. So that is about char at. So basically it is giving you each character and its index and what will be the value in that. That is caret. Then we will go on to the next one, that is concat. So concat is basically like concatenation. You have two strings, you want to add them. So say that I give something like let str2 be, give hi everyone, how are you today? Then I'll say good evening. Let me give some space too, otherwise it won't look good. Now console.log of string1 dot concat. Now this is another method that we have. We will be giving str2. So let's run this. See, good evening is also added. Or you can directly give something like hey. So this is basically like you're passing the string directly. Hey. What if you want to pass more than one? What will happen? So you can still go ahead and try it. I'll not do it for now. You can try it on your own. Then let's go over to the next one. We finished caret, concat. That plus we had already tried, but anyway, let me show you that as well. We had tried it in console log already. str1 plus str2. You see, even plus works like concat. the same thing. Now let's go over replace. So replace is basically like it will replace whatever the word or whatever the thing that you want to do. It will replace only that. So say suppose I want to say how are you. uh, Maybe something like instead of hi, I want hello. So console dot log off. So that will be str1 dot replace of what we want to replace it. First one, like what is the search value that I'm supposed to give? Hi. And second one will tell you what value you want to replace it with. This one. Let me comment out the rest of the things. I don't want to print all these for now. Let me print only the last line and I'll clear this. So let's see what the response will be. So you see our point was hi initially. Now I have replaced it with hello. And if there is more than one, hi everyone, hi, I'll give again. So it will replace in both the in the first place only. It is not replacing in the second place. It is because it is considering only once. If you want to do it more than once, it will read, but it is not going to replace. We have to pass it in the loop. Now let's go over to the next one, that is substring or slice. So substring, what it does is it will give you what you want to see. So for example, let me give some random number so you will understand. I better do this way. Console dot log off. Now str1 dot substring. I want it to take out only a substring starting from the index maybe 4 to 9. I don't know what it comes. So 4 would be something like 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably it will come till every. Let's check it. Yeah, I was right. It will only come till every. So that is about substring. So you are taking substring of the string that you have. Here you will get the index, sorry, character at that index within that string. Here we are adding two strings. Same goes with the plus, and we are replacing here. Replace first word to second word. Now that we have completed substring, let me tell the next one, which was slice. Slice also does the same thing, but it is little different. It will uh, slice the string into two halves. The first half it will not show, the second half it will show. That is console.log of. So str1 dot slice of whatever the index that I want to. So we try till every, right? So let me give 9 only. So it will come beyond that. It will only show beyond that. So 1, hi, how are you today? That's about slice. Slice the string to two parts based on index passed and display the second part. So that is about slice. Next, we go on to two lowercase, two uppercase. So it is very simple. Now you see we have something like how is in capital and rest all are like mixed capital and small letter. So what the lowercase does is it will convert all the things to lowercase, and uppercase will convert everything within that string to uppercase. That is str1 dot lowercase, sorry, to lowercase. You can see everything is in lowercase now. So the same thing, to lowercase, and we have the same thing and we'll give in uppercase. So instead of to, uppercase. So here it is upper. You can see the difference. So that is mostly done. Then we have split and trim. So let me comment these as well. So what does split do? It will basically create into different array. Sorry, each word will be separated based on what you are giving. Let me show you instead of talking. So I gave something like str1 dot split it with the space. Wherever you see space, each one of them separate it and show me what the response will be. So you see it comes like an array. So array means I'll go over it in a while. So basically it will have something like this square bracket, and your values will be within this separated by comma, like this. So that is about split. So it creates an array based on what value is being sent within the split. So this will be more helpful for you in the interview question. They would be asking you something like find the number of words that are there in the string. In that case, you can split and count how many words are there here. Or you can even take the count of, actually you cannot. You can actually separate them, and that's how you will be getting the value. Mostly the interview questions would be around substring, caret, and split. These will be most probably the interview questions. Let's go over to the last one that we have, that is trim. What does trim do? It takes out the spaces that is in the beginning and at the end. So let me give something like this. I have too much of space. And what does happen if I give trim str1 dot trim? It will just take out the extra space whatever is there. So that is called leading and trailing space. Remove leading and trailing space. Let's run this. You see, there is no extra space. That's what trim does. Those are about the string functions. So far, do we have any doubts here on strings? Yes, Gaurav.
Yeah, Akshaya. For the trim, is it necessary to trim only spaces or something else also we can trim?
I think it is only for spaces, nothing else to my knowledge. Yeah. You can see if you want to know more about the functions that are there, you can hover on the function and it will give you what it does. So it says removing the leading and trailing white spaces and line terminator character from the string. If there is any extra line or extra tab that you are providing, those things would also be removed. It will only consider that. And you are not passing anything inside that method also. You are just giving it, keeping it blank here.
Okay, and do we use it in a test project somewhere? Means, is it practically we are going to use?
Yeah, it will be. So something like you are reading some file. So if there are any blank space, in that case you will be using. So blank space as in, for example, you have a JSON file. You first convert it to string type, and then whatever the extra space are there, you will trim that. That's when you will be using it.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Any other questions?
And during interviews, most
Hmm.
common question is there, reverse the string.
Hmm.
How, like, by using, specifically people ask, by using for loop you have to reverse the string. Then how we have to deal with it?
So how you want to reverse a string? So you provide the same way, like I was telling, you can give like split. You split it and put it in the array and use it in the reverse order and then again convert it. You can do that way. I think there is no reverse string function or anything like that. So that's what I can think of.
Is there any function like string buffer or something like that?
No, no, nothing like that. String buffer? Did you say string buffer? It is there in Java, not in JavaScript.
Okay. And yesterday also I wanted to ask, like, for a number you have explained if condition, but
Mm-hmm.
for a string, how if will work? Like for example, if we initiate I is equal to 0 and I is equal to length of a string and I plus plus, then how it behaves?
Okay, so the length of the string. So I was telling you, right? So basically, if you check for length of the string, it will give you how many number of characters are there. So based on the number of characters, I will get the value.
No, no. For example, there is a number. Okay, you have explained
Hmm.
me the for loop yesterday, right? So in that you have explained me very well about the numbers while calling in a for loop. Like you have to
Hmm.
initiate I, then it will be there will be a condition, then there will be increment or decrement, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So if what if there is a string instead of a number? How the
Hmm.
for loop is going to be used?
That's what I said. So you see string one dot length. Basically, you will go to for loop when you want to repeatedly execute some statements. So in those iterations, you need to provide specific number how many times you want to execute them. You cannot consider string as numbers, right? So in that case, you would be providing the length of the string. So
Mhm.
here I go over each and every character in that string. That will be considered as the length. And if you see here, 52 is the length of the string. That is the number of characters within this string 1 is 52. That is what it will be giving. So I will start from 0 or 1 and it will go over till 52 and then it will stop. That's how you would be giving it within the for loop.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah. So yeah, so we also got to know about length. I didn't wanted to cover it for now because I wanted to take that in the arrays. But anyway, now that we know of it, string one dot length will give you the number of characters in that string. So that is about strings. I hope no one has any questions. Then we will go over to arrays. So what does array do? Why do we need arrays? All these questions you would generally have. Arrays are nothing but you are providing the one single variable and storing multiple values in that. That means, say for example, you have a box that can hold in partition. So let me open Paint. So basically, it's like I have one box and I'm separating it with the multiple divisions. And then I'm actually using one single variable to have it. So you might have seen probably in real time where we would be stacking multiple things on one top of another. So in that, what does it do? So let me give this as array. And this array is referencing from something called index. So what does this mean? So that means the first one takes the value 0. Is that number visible to all? Um, oh, it's too small. Okay, so basically the first one that we see here is going to be referenced with index 0, and then this will be taking index 1, and then the next one would be index 2, and then so on. Like that it will go on. How are we going to access the arrays? So each of this will be working like multiple drawers that you would have in the compartment that you will have. So the moment you open 0, you will get only the things that are there inside that. So the moment you open 1, the first drawer, you will see whatever the things you have kept in 1. So that way. So how are we going to access them? Let's go over Visual Studio again. I'll create one more folder, arrays. So in arrays, what we have is new file, arrays example.js. So that is something like let arr be equal to, let me give some value here, 10, 20, 30, like that. So basically I'm telling this is what I have. I have something like there is I mean to say there is 3 compartments in this particular info, and I want it to open only the first one. How are we going to access it? So that time it will be console.log of a of 0. 0 because the first one, the 10 that you are seeing is 0. The 20 you are seeing will be 1, and 30 you will be seeing will be accessed with 2. That is the index value. So let's check node arrays, array example.
Why is it A?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Thank you. Yeah. Now we are there. We can go over each one of them and find out what value it is taking and use it with the index. So somebody was asking me, what do I do if there is something like this where there are more than 5 or 6 of them, and I want to use all of them at once. So in that case, we will be going over. Can someone guess what are we going to use if we have more than 5 or 6, and if we are going to do the same action? Yes, that's correct. We'll be using the loops, and we will be performing. So let's go over for let I equal to 0, and now we want to know what is the array's length. That is with I less than array dot length and I plus plus. So let's go inside the loop, and I'll try to do the same job. Console.log of array of. Now within this we will be providing the index value that will be carried by I. You see, 10, 20, 30, or whatever the value that you're trying to give, everything will be displayed there. Any questions so far? Okay, I take it as a no. And now let's go on to the next topic that we have. We have accessed the array using the index. We have found the length of the array, and then the general loop, the general for loop that we had. And now we will go with the for of loop. So what is it about for of loop? So it is basically similar to for loop, but only difference is that we will be providing for of. Let me type it and show you for of.js. So what are we doing here? Var or whatever the thing is, a equal to, let me go over and give something like randomly 4 and then 7, 8 and probably 65. So now the condition goes this way: for I or element, I can say for let element of a. That means I'm telling for each and every element that you're seeing here, that is 10, 25, 4, 7, 8, 65. I'm not giving the index. Instead, I'm giving their value itself. For each element, go inside that and just take it. So what happens? Let me print only the element. So I'm not using any array of I or anything like that. We are just giving off, for off. So that is node array for off. You see, it's going to print everything that is there in the array. That is about for off. Let's see the next one that we have. So we finish for of loop and storing different types of data into a single array. So we saw only one type for now. So what happens if I give something else? So I'll go over back to this. What happens if I give anything else? What all different types of values that we can store? So let it be something like a equal to, now I want to say hi. Now I'll say hello. And then these are all types of strings that we have. So right. And I'll go over, copy the same thing, or maybe we can give for of loop for element of a, go inside this and display whatever is there in that element. So let's try. See, you can see all three are printed. Regardless what type of value you are going to store, array will take everything. Now let me give a different type altogether, all the mix and match of everything. So that is let a equal to, say I want to say hi, number 5, and now I say true, then null. Let's see what happens if I give null for each element of a, console.log of element. Just display everything. See, even null is also displayed. There is no error that is coming. You can see the difference. So it can have the same type of values within that array, or it can also have multiple other types as well. So using this is done, and updating the existing value using index. So now I already have one. So how are we going to update it? Simple. We will access it first. So suppose that we have true here, I will make it false. Let's print this. So you see the value is updated directly. That is about the functions that we have. How are we going to store different types of array in a single array, updating the existing value in array using the index. So far we have done all these, then we will go over each of the array functions that we have. Any questions so far? Okay, I take it as a no. Alright, so okay, then I'll go over and I'll create functions. Array functions .js. So now we have, let me take one of the arrays that we have here, or maybe one type of array for now, so it will not be too confusing. Let array be this one. Then for the first one that we have is what? The array name dot pop. What does pop do? It just takes out the first one. Console dot log of, oh, before I do this, array dot pop of, and what it does. Can someone guess? It removes the last element. So I'll give for element of array, and I'll go over and print everything. So that means it has deleted array functions. You see the last element has been deleted. What does pop do? Delete the last element. That is about pop. Now let me go over to the next one that is there, that is array.push. What does array.push do? It will push to the last element. So let me give here something like array.push. Whatever the value that we want, we will pass it here. So I'll say hi. We copy the same and print it back. So you see from the past two, whatever we had on the third place, that is 30, has been deleted. Now I'm trying to print each and every element, so that is 10, 20, and then hi. So everything is coming. That is also part of it. So here it is push to the last element. That is about push. Let me just comment out everything so it will not be confusing. So far, are we there? Any questions still here? Okay, take it as a no. Now I want to shift. So what does shift do? Shift will remove the first element. So I'll probably type it here. So it will be something like array dot shift of. That's it, nothing else. We are not providing anything. That's because it is deleting, removing the first element from the array. So let's go over and print again the for each. You can see the response 20 and 30. 10 is gone. Now that 10 is gone, that is about shift. What does unshift do? So unshift is about I forgot. Correct. It will add it to the first one. Remove from the first, and now we will have, I'll comment this alone, and I'll give something like array dot unshift, and it will add something like 15 I gave. So we see 15 has been added. We have 10, 20 and 30 now. So once this is done, that is about unshift, and then delete array name of index. So what we are trying to do is specifically providing, let me finish this, add to the first of array. Now again I'll go over and do this. The next one is where I'm telling delete, and I'm providing array of index say 2. Now in the index we have 30, or maybe I'll give 1 because we have tried the last and the first one, right? So let's try this. So it gives you undefined. It is only deleting the value. It is not taking out the position. That's what the delete does. That's about delete. Then we have array is array. So this is basically asking you whether it is of type array or not. If it is type array, then it will true. It will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. Some more of them. So let me go over and type here. So console.log of a array dot is array. What was the syntax? I don't know. Array dot is array of, we will be giving like this. So it says true. Now I'll give something like hi. If it is array or not, it will say immediately it is saying no, it is false. Is the variable array. So now the next one that we have is type of. So type of is basically telling you if it is what is the type of the array. That will be object. So it is of type object. The next one, so I'll give returns object. Now we have some more array functions. It is similar to what we did with the string, that is concat, slice and everything. Array sort, array reverse are the ones which will be beneficial. Probably I'll give something like this. So now we have array sort. So arr dot sort, sort, and now I'll give console.log with the for loop. So what does it do? See, it's been sorted and it is giving the value. So this is sorting in ascending order. Now let me comment this and give reverse. Reverse is, it will give in the descending order. Sorry. Array dot reverse. It gives in the descending order. Should basically give in this descending order. I'm not sure why it is giving 30, 20, 40. Oh, correct. It is proper. It is displaying in the reverse order. Sorry, my bad. It is displaying in the reverse order of the index that we have. Then let me go on to storing the objects in the array that we already have almost covered. Probably when I cover two objects, cover the objects that time I'll be doing it. Then also the strings, two string is typecasting. We have a separate session for that. That also I'll covering as part of that. Join and join, these two we can go over and do it off now. Sorry, I'm taking more time. See, everything is separated by comma and it is being displayed. The second one that I was telling about is give some other characters, so it will separate it with that. That's about join and join with anything that you are providing as the value. So that's it about today's session. If anyone has any questions, can ask now. Okay, I take that as a no. Well, in that case, thank you all for your time. I'll share the assignments with you so you can go over and try on your own and come back with any questions if you have. Tomorrow, again, I'll join 5 minutes early. So if you have any questions, you can ask during that time. Thanks all. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.